Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today's discussion will be taken from Bhagavad-gita as it is, by Bhagavad-gita as it is, chapter 17, text 20. Title of this chapter is The Divisions of Faith. So one exciting thing about Lord Krishna's presentation is that sometimes Lord Krishna presents his talks in a passive voice. And it's linguistically interesting because passive voices, in most cases people prefer active voice, but it is more difficult for people to catch up things in active voice, or people to present talks in active voice. And passive voice actually requires a lot of deep thought to be able to catch up with the phraseologies. So you see that Krishna, he's the best of linguists, and he can present things in any form he wants, whether it's in active voice or in passive voice, depending on the person that he's actually talking to. So, translation: charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place, and to a worthy person, is considered to be in a mode of goodness. Please kindly responsibly repeat. Charity given out of duty without expectation of return at the proper time and place, and to a worthy person, is considered to be in a mode of goodness. Purport: in the Vedic literature, charity given to a person engaged in spiritual activities is recommended. There is no recommendation for giving charity indiscriminately. Spiritual perfection is always a consideration. Therefore, charity is recommended to be given at the place of pilgrimage and at a lunar or solar eclipses, or at the end of the month, or to a qualified Brahmana or a Vaishnava devotee, or in temples. Such charities should be given without any consideration of return. Charity to the poor is sometimes given out of compassion, but if a proper person is not worth But if a poor person is not worth giving charity to, then there is no spiritual advancement. But if a poor man is not worth giving charity to, then there is no spiritual advancement. In other words, indiscriminate charity is not recommended in the Vedic literature. Om Gyana Timirandasya, Gyana Janasavakaya, Sakshura Militam, Jena Tasmai, Sri Gurave Namaha. Suchetam Manovistam, Stapyatam, Jena Bhutale, Swayam Rupam Kadamayam, Padati Swa Padantikam. Vanchakalpataribhyacha, Kripasunabhya Evacha, Patitanam, Pavanabhya, Vaishnavabhya, Namo. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sivasadi Sigora Bhaktavinda. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutali, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Itinamini. Namaste Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pacharine, And let me say something your body for certain discipline. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this text is very pertinent to our everyday disposition, whether as professionals or as students or wherever you may find yourself. Charity is something that is very much advocated, especially in the United States. I was reading the report for Giving USA 2018 report, and that's a report that is always presented to be able to show how much money has gone to charity in for charities. And so for last year, 2017, the money that went into charities was $410.03 billion. And out of that, $127.35 billion went in for charity to religious organizations. Now, further details shows that the charities that we're talking about is predominantly by individuals. It's not that government or some foundation is giving more. Individuals. And in most cases with these religious organizations, people go to the church or to the temple or to the mosque to donate money. But church money should be accounted for. And because it behoves the religious institutions to be able to understand that people are charitably disposed, but they want to be benefited from these charities spiritually. Because this is what's recommended. That's what Prabhupada mentions also in the purport. It's very authentic for people to give charity. And we are people, humans are intrinsically charitable. We like to give something. And in America, for instance, if you go out on book distribution and you give someone a book, say if you're a devotee who is visiting people in the offices, if you visit someone in the office and you go to you just give him something, you give him a book, and then you just walk away. You say, "Oh, this is my Christmas gift for you," and you go away. And then the next time you come to give him something again. Another book. And the next time you come to give another book. In most cases, they will ask you, so what can I do here? What can I give to you? America is different. In the sense that a number of people don't want to just accept your charity without reciprocating. But in most developing countries, if you give someone a book, free. And next time you come and give them a book, free. And next time he sees you and then you don't give him a book free, then they ask you, boy, what's going on? Why am I not getting a free gift, So people are not so pious when they have all this economic deprivation because they're just struggling to eat, and then the exploitative mentality of what the Gita describes Krishna describes in the Gita, that, the conditioned soul likes to exploit the resources of nature. And so this thing is very dominant when people are economically deprived of resources and finances. So what Prabhupada mentions in the purport here, in his explanation to this text, is so pertinent to our lives for our own spiritual elevation. And you recall that most of the times when I come here, I stress on people doing some service. What are you doing to your spiritual master? Or you just want to have a spiritual master for the sake of a name. But what's the thing? Look, I'll give you a typical example. Ford, he donated a whole Fisher's mansion to Prabhupada in Detroit. Who amongst you have been to Detroit to see Fisher's mansion? That's a real, aesthetically gorgeous place. It's by is by a river. And initially, the owner, when the temple was just procured, you could drive your speedboat right down into the temple. You can drive your speedboat down into the temple. Like the basement, you can drive into the temple. But I think something happened, and then they have to reshape the whole structure, so they remove that water system. But, and Ford did not stop there. Look, he is the main person who is spearheading the building of the temple in Mayapur, spending millions and millions of dollars. Why? Because he understood that this is what is going to be fulfilling to his life. And you see, we don't need to force ourselves to do charity. If you're not going to get a fulfillment, you don't need to force yourself. But especially in the case of Ford, he just saw Prabhupada, and there was that urge to, to help him. Yeah, so that's why I mentioned that by nature, humans, we like to give something. We find this in the family. The grandparents, for instance, grandchildren are coming for Christmas. They go and buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this for everybody. They even buy for their own children. Children that are grown-ups now, they buy for them, yeah. So, humans are very much charitably disposed. And if someone is not charitably disposed, then we need to really question ourselves. What's going on with me? There's something lacking in us when we don't want to do something for the sake of a spiritual culture. And so Lord Krishna mentions in the Gita 9:27 that yat juhosi dadasiyat. That yat juhosi means offering. Dadasiyat means charity. So that these same points were raised in the early text, early chapter 9, where Krishna mentions that whatever you have to do, whatever you have to eat, whatever you have to give away, he says you give it to me as an offering. Please, you give it to me. And if it's not there, you may say, well, Krishna is done here. What am I going to do? I will listen to Prabhupada's tape. And he said, so Arjuna is receiving direct instructions from Krishna about what he needs to do. So we may say, well, Krishna is needed to give him direct instructions, so where do I get mine? So Prabhupada said, you have to get it from your spiritual master. So we may say, well, Krishna said, he said, give the charity to me. And so we may say, well, Krishna is not there, so what do I do? So he's, again, following from the implication of what Papa said, yes, you do that service to your spiritual master because he's representing me, he's representing Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna mentions again in the Padma Purana, in his conversation with Arjuna, that those type of services to his devotees are more appreciable to him than even direct service to him. In fact, Lord Krishna went on to explain that, in fact, those who try to render service to him directly, they are not his devotees. Yeah, it's that grave. So, we'll find that, I'm just paraphrasing to be able to align with what we are saying. Because when we are saying something, we should really see how that cruises along with the dominant factor or the topic of discussion. Because just to quote verses from the Puranas without relating to what you are saying, for me it doesn't make a cogent reality. And so the emphasis that Lord Krishna makes in the Padma Purana was that, or is that, those who claim to be my devotees, they are not my devotees. And that is really hard. So sometimes we're thinking, well, I'm Krishna's devotee. I'm a great devotee of Lord Krishna. Yeah, but then we should think, am I a great devotee of Srila Prabhupada? Am I dedicated to the service of my spiritual master? And therefore, the important factors that we have to consider here is that when we're talking about charity, yes, people are giving out money for good causes. But you know what? In places like in India, the bearers, they go about constructing temples. The rich merchants, so they go about constructing big temples to, religious people, religious organizations, without accepting a cent, a dime from them. Why? They know the value. Because just by doing that type of service, you automatically become liberated, no matter how sinful you are. No matter how sinful you are, just by doing that service, that type of service, you become automatically liberated. Yeah, so people who know the science of charity, they give charity to for the best cause, at the best time, to the most suitable person. And Prabhupada mentions in the purport itself that the most suitable person is a devotee who is dedicated his life to the service of Lord Chaitanya, or the service of spreading Lord Krishna's message. And going to the temple to make some charity, make some donation, that's recommended. I remember some years ago, when I was in my late 20s, I was traveling. I was still in Africa at that time. So I was traveling, and when I got to some junction, some traffic light, and then a beggar whose legs were amputated, he was by the road, and he was just lying down with the head in front and begging for money. And people were sympathizing, giving money here and there. And at the same time, I saw that beggar, he was drinking a bottle of Guinness beer. But then, he's a beggar. It means that he's not working. People, that is charitable money. Now, what is the implication of that for those who give the money for just cause? Although we do not plan, or we do not presuppose that he should use the money for that type of sense enjoyment, but because we contributed to it. It's like in law, when you aid and abet some crime, you're culpable. So here, we had a good intention, but it was not to the right person. It was a poor person, a beggar. But then he used the money for sinful activities. So we become entangled. We pay some price for it. And this is the reason why Prabhupada mentions in the purport where to direct our energies in terms of charity. So just to be charitably disposed to somebody by giving them money, and you don't know the cause of the action or what they're going to use the money for. If they use the money for something beneficial, great, you get some reward. If they use the money for something sinful, you also get some reactions. You share some reactions. This is the whole intricacy of material existence. And that is why when you're reading the Vedic literature, there are specifications of what you need to do, even in terms of charity. And so, having understood that, yes, charity is a very good deal, but then again, we should follow what is prescribed in the Vedic literature, how we go about disposing of or disposing our money. Because, there are so many things that we can do to help people. I know some charitable organizations, they just specialize in providing clothes for the poor, providing blankets and food and all these things. But, you know, people have to choose what they have to do. We are lucky we've been given some guidance on how to go about with our charitable, how to utilize our charitable wills in doing what is going to be ultimately beneficial to us and to the world. So, bottom line is that we should, in fact, Lord Krishna mentions also in the Gita, in early chapter, that no one can stop, you know, performing some sacrifice. And even charity is some type of sacrifice, because you're giving in your money or your resources for something that, you know, you're not going to get immediate tangible results. You're doing it out of good heart. You have a good heart, you have a good intention, you're pious, you're conducting some pious activity, you have pious disposition. And people who are not pious, they might be staunchly rich, they will not perform any charitable ventures. Rather, they will find ways to evade even taxes. Oh yeah. So, because no one is satisfied with whatever they have. But if we have that higher understanding, we want to be able to participate in ventures, in spiritual ventures that will elevate our consciousness. So charity to the right person, within the right circumstance, is very purifying. And so this is recommended in the Bhagavad-gita, and therefore we should think of how best we could really reinforce our charitable disposition in trying to help out in the spreading of Lord Chaitanya's mission, and we will always be blessed. And there's some comments, some questions on this point. Yes.
And this is part of the reason why when I go to the Krishna temple on 2nd Avenue and they have donation-based yoga classes, or when they have prasada, they have a kirtan, which is why we donate the money to help people in need, but I think it's also for the temple or the temple.
Exactly.
But the people who live in the temple, they get the money from us because we help them, right?
Sure.
So that's part of the charity as well.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
I think it's mentioned in the places of pilgrimage you could give charity. Is there also you have to choose who you're giving in the places of pilgrimage, or basically in the places of pilgrimage you can give to anybody?
That's a nice point. Nowadays, my best advice, and in fact the best bet, is to give you the temple. They have a donation box. Go give there.
No one outside, no comments.
To be rest assured, so that you know you're giving without being okay. Like, is someone noticing you? I'm giving to this person. He should know me that I give to it. You understand the point?
Yeah.
You understand the point?
Yes, it looks like I'm trying to go around your point, because I was in Jagannath Puri and there was a lot of homeless people, and since right now it was mentioned in the place of pilgrimage, I want to justify that I was just going like that.
That's not only Jagannath Puri. In India, in all of the places of pilgrimage, we have so many beggars. I understand your point. That's why I said, there's nothing wrong with giving money to beggars. Let's be frank. Let's be practical. One day, I was in Vrindavan. I went out with my the boy who was assisting me. So we went out to different temples. We were coming back on a rickshaw. We have some man who just came off drunk, deadly drunk in Vrindavan. Deadly drunk, and what he just came straight to me and was harassing me. And from nowhere, a police officer just came and hit him down and chased him away. From nowhere. So even in the holy places, we have to be careful. Because some people are, criminals are even infiltrating the holy places. Begging sometimes, in some places, it's become like a professional thing. People are healthy, they could really do some job and get money, but then they choose to beg. And where to get the money quickly is those holy places. Yes, there's nothing wrong in begging. I mean, giving money to people at the holy places. But, people who are there, they are in need. Yeah, we should give. At the same time, we can really do better if we go into the temple and donate money. Giving those people is okay, but we cannot be sure what they do with the money. Even in the holy places, you can be sure. If you know the person you're giving to the right person, that's why Papa specified it. He said to a poor person, it's okay, but what if they use the money for something sinful? You understand the point? They need to eat. Yeah, you can buy some prasad and give to them. But I remember in some cases, I think in the US, just a minute, I'm coming. I think in the US, we were in a car, we were going somewhere, and some beggar came. I think he was a drug addict, but then he was begging for money. He was specifying a particular amount, whether $2 or $1 or something. So I told this devotee, can I give him some prasad if he has some prasad? So he gave him some sweet. He said, no, I don't need this. I need $2. But then we have a slogan that a beggar has no choice. It's a beggar with choice. Yes.
Sometimes I think you say that there's a beggar with choice and there's a beggar with no choice. I think it relates to my life experience, because once when I was trying to get home, I was very tired and stuff like that happened, and I wasn't in the mood of giving money to a beggar who was being a very bad person. I mean, I want to curse him out, unfortunately, because he was didn't let anyone go. He just stood in the middle of the train and he said, can anyone help it? He was given a very bad attitude, that he was like, had an attitude on his face that until you give me money, I'm not going to go through. And I was very upset. And I didn't give him money. But when today I saw a beggar who was, at first he started singing, and it seems like I'm a musician, and he seems like he has a talent in music, and I felt terrible for him because he couldn't utilize his musical potential. And then he said, I'm doing music because I'm trying to like help people, this kind of attitude, and I want everyone to be happy, because music is kind of what the spirit is of the person's consciousness. His attitude was really nice guy, and then I felt very bad for him, and he said, if anyone has any change or food, please donate if possible, and I gave him today because I felt bad that he couldn't utilize his musical potential. So I feel that you have to look who you are giving the money. Maybe the beggar is a nice person, I'll give the money. If he is just begging for the sake of it, then I wouldn't. How do you feel?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. This is a nice point. And like I mentioned, there's nothing wrong in giving charity to people, but the Prabhupada is giving us some guidance on what to do in terms of who to give to, and to say where you can also give and all this stuff. The reason why the pilgrimage site is mentioned is that activities we perform on pilgrimage sites, we get, amplified results. We get amplified benefits. So each time we go for pilgrimage, yeah, we should try to do. Like I remember sometime, when some years ago when I was in Mayapur, I repeatedly would like to do some service. And then I remember one older sannyasi came to harass me. I was serving Charamita, I like doing that, and these devotees, they allowed me to do it. So then I like to do that because, like, you're serving the devotees in the dam, and you get purified, a very expedited purification in the service you do on the dam. So with that understanding, I was doing that, but then devotees, they like it. And there was this older sannyasi who came to me to say one day to say, "You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do this." Then I just looked and smiled. I remember also one time, I like to, like at the temple in Mayapur, if I'm going there, I remember some few years ago, I like to carry the ghee lamp and serve the devotees there. That also is always a big struggle because some devotees will come to snatch it from you and say, and all this. No, it's bad. It's doing those with proper understanding. But the point is, devotees wouldn't want you to, they wouldn't allow you to do it. But I like to do it because there's a basic understanding that whatever service you do at the temple, of course, you preach to devotees also is service. You get, great benefits. At the pilgrimage site. So whatever service we do at the pilgrimage site, the important thing is that when we go to pilgrimage places, we should not just sit back and, we should try to go to the holy places and see what you can do in terms of render service, participate in the programs. Because you have these things, the result of expedited purification. Your social service is important, and charity giving on the pilgrimage site, helps to expedite the purification. Yes. Haribol.
Would 26th Avenue be considered a pilgrimage site?
This is a pilgrimage site. This is wherever the pure devotee feet has touched becomes a pilgrimage.
So 26th Avenue, and then, like, for example, like Nova Daven or other places?
Yeah, these are all holy places. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why we are coming here, because when you come here, you get reinforced. You get spiritual reinforcement. Yeah, it's a place of pilgrimage. People come. I remember one of my friends and his wife. They came all the way from South America, I think, from Chile. They came here just to see this place. Yeah, we have the first temple of Prabhupada. Yeah. So people read from the books. We are coming here. We are here every day, so we don't seem to know the value. People want to come to this place, but some people, they are staying at very far places in different continents. But where Prabhupada first established this movement, it's a big pilgrimage site. It's
From Moscow come to see.
Yeah. People, it's a powerful pilgrimage site. People read from the books and they want to come to see this place. And each time, from the reports I've had, they come and then they experience real powerful energies. Oh, yeah? Yes.
I had a question. So you say a person from Chile would visit New York just to come here.
He came.
Is this one of the first temples? I'm sure there are many great places, holy places, pilgrimage sites like that, similar in Chile. Why would they come there?
They read from the books that about this place. This is the first temple, the first preaching place that Prabhupada used in preaching to Americans. This is the very first place.
Entire America.
Yeah. When he came from India, this was the first established place that he gathered people. People were coming regularly for classes. So this became
First
like
place in the whole world.
Yeah, as far as the Hare Krishna movement is concerned. In America, we talk about in the U.S.
United States.
We're talking about the U.S. Yeah. He was trying to preach in India before he came here. But this is the first temple that, he established. He made so many devotees from this place who became Goswamis, some of the leaders in ISKCON. They made Prabhupada in New York and other places, San Francisco, other places. Oh yeah, yes.
Hare Krishna. Could you clarify the point about rendering direct service to Krishna and those who do so are not, they're not considered, I think you said, maybe I misunderstood, but what I heard was that they're not considered pure devotees?
I didn't say so.
What?
I mean, you see what happens, listen, the reason why that statement came up in discussion, in the dialogue between Arjuna and Krishna in the Padma Purana, is that in the Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna has given some delineation about different types of devotees. For instance, the lowest type of devotee is a Kanishta. A Kanishta is someone who is doing the puja. He wants to be seen by the whole audience. I am the pujari. These wonderful deities, I am directly serving them. I am the greatest. There's nothing wrong in being a pujari. The mindset is what matters. There's nothing wrong in serving Krishna directly. The mindset is what matters. We could be tempted to think that I'm greater than somebody else. And therefore, Lord Krishna recommended that better to serve my devotee. Service to my devotee is more important than service to me. You see the logic? Nothing wrong in serving Krishna directly. It's a pride. If you have if you have the opportunity to serve Krishna directly, that's a great boon. And again, when we are doing that, we have to be careful that because we are close to the Lord, the purification is expedited, and it's also so tricky that we could get into difficulty by little errors. You understand the point? Yeah. To serve the Lord, of course the Lord is not there physically right now, like he was talking to Arjuna. So Prabhupada says, well, you may say Krishna is not there for me to serve him, hear from him, get instruction from him. So Prabhupada mentioned, okay, get instruction from your spiritual master. Serve your spiritual master. Because when you do that, Krishna is satisfied. When you please your spiritual master, Krishna becomes pleased. And so, the important thing is the underlying reason why Krishna made that statement. In the Bhagavatam, he had mentioned about these different categories of devotees, about Madhyam, Kanishta, and Uttam. Uttam, he has respect for everybody. He doesn't see your body. He doesn't judge people based on gender and age and skin color. He's seen the super soul in each and every one. Even the dogs, he will pay obeisance to the dogs. Because he's not seeing the body of the dog. He is seeing the super soul in each and every living embodied soul. That's Uttam. The Madhyam, he sees different bodies, but he honors everybody and respects them, encourages them on the path of bhakti. The Kanishta, he thinks, I am the greatest. And it's offensive. If you go to some of the temples, the pujari, they will come, so friendly. You go to some, the pujaris, they act as if they're the Lord himself. Yes. So there is a danger in being too close to the Lord, and except someone is really cultured in respect and love of seeing people beyond the physical body, except if the person has imbibed the culture of Mama Evamso Jiva Loke, that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Good. But most of the time we forget that. And so Lord Krishna mentions, yeah, I think for most people it's preferred that we deal with his representative. That's the point. Yes, you wanted to ask some question?
Hi, Krishna. In the verse that had said, to be in the mode of goodness, right, is to give without any
Any expectation of return.
But when you're in the mode of goodness and you're giving for spiritual advancement, does that take the mode of goodness away from you?
No. You see, the expectation is material results. You see, all of the things that we are doing, we know that we're not really getting any material result. But why are we still doing it? Because we have a higher understanding that we're going to get some blessings from Lord Krishna. We're going to get His mercy. He's going to, lead us from within and from without. So expectations are basically, it's like we're talking about material expectations. We are, even the Paramahamsas, look at Prabhupada. Prabhupada was expecting so much of spiritual, he has so much of spiritual expectations. I remember when I was in Canada, some few years ago, in Toronto, their temple is, it was a church that the devotees bought from the people. And so, one of Prabhupada's disciples, she's a lady, and she was telling me, when Prabhupada first saw that place, he told them that, hey, we need this place for a temple. So she said, Prabhupada, we don't have any money. We don't have any money. Yeah, so, but, Prabhupada encouraged them that, when the pure devotee desires something, you should just have the faith that it's going to happen, and it could happen. But then she told me, eventually, how they came to get the place was like a miracle. Was like a miracle, Yeah, so sometimes the desire of Prabhupada, people may read it to be like, oh, it was having so much of expectations. But they were not material expectations. The results were all for Krishna. Remember the case? Some of you have read the, what's the name? The books by Saswarup on
Lilamrita?
Yeah, Lilamrita. You find the case of this big place in Mumbai. There was a big problem there. One could have said, oh, but he's a pure devotee. Why don't you just leave it up to Krishna? Just, leave everything and... But he fought. He fought for it. He fought for it. Till the end, they got the place, and, the place became established, built up for Krishna. So for Krishna, you should be willing to do whatever that is possible to be able to achieve the ultimate goal. Okay? Yes.
Hi, Krishna. Hi, Krishna.
Hello.
My name is Jasmine. This is my first time actually in a holy temple.
Okay.
I just started reading Bhagavad-gita, and I met Eagle Fifi and the group in Jackson Heights. I have a question. I'm born Muslim. And reading the book so far, I realized it's very similar to the religious values and everything. It's very similar to my Quran. So, would I still be able to, because they say a Hinduism could convert to a Muslim, and a Muslim could convert to a Hinduism. But I would like to have joint,
You like to integrate both?
Yes.
Okay.
How is that? Is that okay?
That's okay.
Okay.
You see, the basic things are that we have to think about the ethicality of a tradition, the moral values, and then we relate that to the norms of the tradition. And so, what you said is true. In Islam, there's so much of emphasis on moral values. And sometimes people don't really seem to understand, and then they blame, and sometimes the people don't understand, and sometimes they go to the extreme. It's like in the Manu Samhita. Now, every scripture is for people within a particular setting, in a particular disposition. Now, Arjuna, on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, was being asked to go to war, to kill even his kinsmen. Now, one could say, why is Krishna instigating a fight? We are looking for peace in this world. According to Prabhupada, we can never find peace in this world. Peace and this world, they are not concomitant factors. This world is a place where every step you take could be dangerous. The characteristics of material existence, one of the major characteristics of material existence is fighting. Another one is eating, sleeping, sex. You can't stop sex in this world. You can't stop it. You can't stop people from fighting. Even in a home, even twins, identical twins, they fight. They fight, then they are children. Later, a few minutes later, they start playing. The grown-up people, they carry guns, kill each other. They can't stand to play the next moment. So fighting is an intrinsic value, intrinsic vice, not value, intrinsic vice we have. So if you don't understand that someone comes to attack you, and then you want to attack back, and then, there's a whole battle. So yeah, you can integrate both traditions. And in Islam, it's also recommended you should chant Allah's name. You should recite Allah's name. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Yeah. And in the Vedic literature, it's recommended, in this age of Kali, we should chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you try both of them. You try this for 30 minutes. You try the other mantra from the Quran for 30 minutes, and you see the difference. And then later you will have to decide for yourself.
Oh, they're both beautiful.
Sure.
I've already tried it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So you can integrate.
Yeah, that's what I feel that I can do, because some people that I feel like they're like, no, you can't. Like.
No, why not?
I feel like it's very, it's so similar.
Yeah, they're similar. It just, the details is what makes it different, and the culture of values is what makes it different. Yeah. So you start, how many rounds you chant every day?
No, not every day. Not every day.
No, you should.
I'm getting there. I bought a meditation ball.
You bought it with beads?
I already have my beads.
Oh, good,
yes,
good.
I have.
So you're on track.
I have my Islamic beads.
Oh, good. Okay. So how are you going to do it in terms of eating? Because the Quran recommends you can eat meat.
To keep your stomach full, just like with Krishna. With eating, I have to eat more healthier, which I am. But I had stomach issues, so.
So vegetarianism could be very good for you.
I think I might become a vegetarian.
Good.
Yeah, because I had to go to a gastro doctor, and I wasn't eating. It was just really you can't eat, what is it, onion and garlic.
Yeah.
Yes. She's okay.
But there are medicinal reasons for that.
Can you tell me why garlic is not all like 3 of them?
Okay, let me explain one thing. If you read the content of garlic, there's an element called allicin. Okay. Allicin. Allicin is an enhancer of what did this psychologist call it? Aphrodisiac. No.
It's a stimulant. It's a stimulant.
Yeah, allicin is a sexual stimulant.
Okay.
So the garlic, it has medicinal values, okay, but on the other side, it's very good for people who want to have sex.
Well, anyway, I don't really eat onion and garlic no more, and mushrooms I don't. I was telling her. Okay. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. And sometimes I don't believe in people just imposing rules on me. If you say something to me, give me some, scientific explanation.
Yeah.
So yeah, people say you don't eat garlic. Why? Oh, it's food in the mode of passion. So what? But this is the other side of it.
Kalia Grisha has a question.
Yes, please.
Marsha, charity, we often think is concomitant with money.
Uh-huh.
So my question is, the grihastas are meant to give charity to the brahmachari, the vanaprastha, and the sannyasi. But what are the brahmachari, vanaprastha, and sannyasi supposed to give as far as charity?
Okay. You see, what happens in general is that charity, the major factor there, people understand charity to be that of giving. Like we have this philanthropy report every year, Giving Tuesday. Last Tuesday was the day. So we understand in terms of money, but you can also give your intelligence. The brahmacharis, the vanaprasthas, the sannyasis, they're giving their whole life to Krishna. So you give your intelligence to Krishna and you are just devoted to preaching and helping people. And Krishna mentions that there is no one more dear to him than one who engages in this type of charity. One who simply gives his whole intelligence, his body and his words to him, dedicates his life to just helping people to elevate them in Krishna consciousness. He said there's no one more dear to him than this type of people. So the charity, I was thinking about that when I was coming, so it's good that you raised it. I was thinking about this type of charity when I was coming. So, it's a nice point you raised. So, if even you think that you don't have money, you can always give something. You can give your intelligence, you can give your words, you can give your body to the service of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By going to the Harinam, to participate in the Harinam, you're performing some charity with your body. And with your buccal cavity, with your mouth, with your tongue. You're helping to create a positive change, a spiritual positive change. Idea of charity is to help out, to help to create some transformation. So that's a broader aspect. And,
I just also thought because Krishna says that acts of charity, penance, and austerity
cannot be given up.
Yeah, but they purify even the great souls.
Sure.
So I was thinking, like, so does that mean, like, if you're a sannyasi, you still got to figure out?
Even we go to the holy dam and we go to the temples, and sometimes, it's not imperative because you're already giving the whole of your intelligence, your mind, your body, and words to the service of the Lord. But, we also give some financial charity to those people who are the priests there at the temple. Some of the because in some places they're not just going to look at it at all. Most of the people there, they recognize this is Kali Yuga, okay? They recognize you by I'm sorry, but some of the places you go, and people just harass you for money. They just seriously harass you. So if you go into India and going to different places, don't be surprised when this happens, so that you don't become offensive. Don't say, what is going on? Why are they harassing me for money? So it's a nice point you raised.
Thank you so much for coming. I have a question about our society, which is the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Nowadays, we have become a global society, which temples all over the world. Now, the temple of the Vedic Planetarium is going up in Mayapur.
Okay.
And they are kind of like asking for donations for devotees from all over the world. The same as our temple right here in Brooklyn. This 26 Second Avenue is another center, not a temple, but it's a center that is also needing funds. My question is, since we have so many temples that are repeatable places for Krishna consciousness, that are asking for money and they're reaching out to devotees, what is more important, to support those temples that are far away, or the local temples that we have right here in New York?
Okay, that's a good point. I can just answer that very snappily. Think globally, but act locally.
How is that, Maharaj?
Huh?
I don't understand.
You don't understand? So what I'm saying, your question is, assist the temples that you're going to every week here. And if you go to India once in a year, if you have some money, you can also give some charity there. But act on the local level as you think about the welfare of all of these bigger places, temples. Because if we don't have the temple within our local setting, where are we going to be going for for our worship and for our sadhana and for our sangha? And one can say, well, hey, I'm not giving. I go give in India. Because you're not going to India every day. So you're here. Help the local temple.
However, Maharaj, those temples like the Vedic temple in Mayapur, they're reaching out through the internet. And it's an initiative that they've been doing that for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really have to go to India to do that. I can
Yeah. So you can do. These days, crowdfunding and the social other aspects of financial leadership and financial development, fundraising. The internet has made so much of provisions for all these things. So you don't need to travel to far places to be able to do those type of charitable works. Yeah, you're free. But we shouldn't think that, well, I just donate to big temples in Vrindavan, and you think of doing that. Assist the local temple here also, grand scale. Otherwise, where are we going to be going? How are we going to be cultivating people who are going to be coming if there's no local support from the community members? Yeah, what's the time now? Is it up to 7:30?
7:20.
Okay, so about 10 more. Is it 10 more minutes? Okay. Not as I like, but we have to be conscious about time. People are coming from far places, and
that's the program, Mark.
Huh?
That's the program.
Yeah. So, any other comments or questions?
Maharaj.
Yeah.
Thank you. So there seems to be a theme or just this recurring idea in the philosophy. In America, for instance, we have sort of this mentality that we are trained with from very young, where it's like if you do good, it's either for material benefit or it's for this idea that if you do it, maybe it'll come. We have sayings like paying it forward. If you do something nice now, something nice will happen for you in the future.
Which is true.
Those sort of things, yeah. And that's all karma. And here in this verse, what stands out to me is doing charity, giving charity, well, all of those qualifications that was mentioned, but giving charity without expectation for anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I guess it's true, it's not expecting anything spiritual, but I mean material, but even spiritually that seems to be there, that and it's very difficult because it's foreign to most of us. This idea that you're doing something and you expect nothing in return, that eventually practicing Krishna consciousness or any form of God consciousness, you get to a point where you don't care how Krishna responds. You don't care if he, like in the Shikshastika, you don't care if how he embraces you, what he does with you.
That's difficult. That's difficult.
happy with that.
That's difficult, isn't it? That is difficult. Yeah. I resonate with you, that is difficult. That basically is the epitome of perfection in spiritual life. Okay? So, that's a very high level, perfected level, a perfected stage of spiritual consciousness. That, if you like, you know, break me with your embrace or kiss me with your embrace. That's what Lord Chaitanya was praying. So we like Mother, what's her name? Was praying in Bhagavad-gita. He was praying to Krishna that
Queen Kunti.
Yeah, Kunti was praying that, my dear Lord, bring more problems to me. So it's in the same mood that Lord Chaitanya was talking about. If you embrace me and break me, some embrace may not be out of love. Some embrace also could mean, like the case after the Kurukshetra, Arjuna was to be embraced. But then Krishna quickly informed, was it Arjuna? Krishna quickly informed him that, don't do it because we're just going to break you into pieces.
I think it was Bhima. I may be wrong, but
I don't remember. There was an incident. There was an incident. I don't remember the details. So the point is, Lord Chaitanya is saying, whether you want to hurt me with your embrace, no problem. You want to kiss me with your embrace, my Lord, do whatever you like. And Mother Kunti says directly, give me more problems. Why? Because with more problems, I'm forced to remember you all the time. We are not Mother Kunti. We should not pray for more problems. Why? I give you a story. I had a friend, when he was doing his undergraduate studies, he was leading a group of devotees in his university, and they were to go for pilgrimage. And then he was not willing to go, so he went to the temple and prayed to the deities. He said, "Now, I don't want to go. I don't know what to tell these devotees, Do something. Do something. I don't want to go." You know what happened to him? He had a terrible accident the next day. And everybody saw that. He can't go anywhere. Or he couldn't go anywhere. So he told me this, as I warned him, look, don't play with Krishna. You ask for bad thing, it's so easy, he'll give you. You ask for good thing, he may delay for a very long time. So we can't imitate Mother Kunti and pray to the Lord, give me some problems. When the problems come, we may not be able to withstand it. So the best thing is we should act according to our listener Prabhupada. He said, we have to cut coats according to our cloths. The cloth we have, see, I came into a long distance. So if you don't have a big cloth, how are you going to tell the tailor, give me long jacket? The cloth might be just the one that is going to, get you here. So we should deliberate our devotional culture based on our present faith, our present consciousness, our present status. Because if we jump too high, if we throw our hearts on the ceiling, our hands will not be able to meet it when we want to use it as we're going out for a party. So it's better to keep the heart where your hands are going to meet. And now, in a similar way, we should know that whatever prayers we make, the Lord hears, and He could reciprocate in a way that you may not like. So it's not like a joke. It's not like you're playing with a little child and say, hey, come and I have some banana here for you and some peanut, some cookie here for you. Come and have some cookie. And the child comes and then you took the cookie away and say, oh, no. This cookie is not good for you. We should not pray when we're not ready for it. Yeah.
All right.
Prayers are very powerful, so we should not pray when we're not ready for it. We should understand that we have to pray with sincerity, and Krishna will definitely reciprocate. Yes, on the point.
That it makes sense, and at the same time, we have, for instance, the morning program where we're chanting many of these verses. We're saying many of these prayers that are way beyond us, and that most of us don't really mean, but we're told that it's good for us to do this every morning.
Yeah.
So, why are we doing?
For example, what prayer?
Shishtastakam.
Okay, yeah, but Shishtastakam. Yeah. The whole point is that we have to understand that Krishna provides, and Krishna also can purify us in a very exponential way. And so we are in the process of learning, but those prayers are not damaging prayers. They are prayers that bring us to an understanding or to a level that there's a higher thing up there. If we relate those prayers to our present level, we understand that, wow, there's a higher stuff up there. Let me strive in my sadhana to be able to go higher. So they're not bad. Yeah. But the point is, if we read those prayers and we reflect on them, we should strive to gradually to go high, to be able to gradually attain those type of spiritual status. Yeah, so nice point you raised. I think that any other points or questions? Questions also? Otherwise,
well, I had a question, but I was wondering if, for example, you say that it's very important when you help other people in different ways that you're serving Krishna without expecting to get results back. So, for example, I am a musician. I teach how to play piano, different people, usual kids. I work with kids, and then they are forever grateful but that I taught them something. But of course, they can use it for the rest of their lives and relate it to every part of their being, not just in music, but everything they do in their lives. And I also play, and people enjoy it. But of course, when I do music, I expect to get results. I need to pay my rent.
Sure.
I like traveling a lot. So
you're doing a profession. You're doing a job.
Yeah.
You're doing a job. You need a pay packet at the end of the month.
Yeah, I need to pay my bills.
Sure. So that's not wrong.
So am I serving Krishna in a way? Because
what happens is that those resources you give 10% to Krishna. That's what's recommended. There's nothing wrong in doing a job. People should go get good jobs.
Like somebody can be a doctor, and that's
why not? Why not? We should motivate.
But if they are a doctor, are they serving Krishna?
Krishna doesn't need a surgery. Krishna doesn't need a surgery. Krishna doesn't need a surgery. He doesn't need the medication.
But he needs music because we sing Hare Krishna.
You mentioned about doctors, I'm explaining. But for the doctor, he can help to serve the community and devotee. He should also use part of his money, 10% at least, for regular service. Nothing wrong. We should be, pack out professionals. Go to the top of your profession. Just understand that you need to utilize some of those resources in serving the Lord. You have to maintain your family. You have to pay your rent. You have to fuel your car and all this stuff. So we end here. Just if you have any other comments, maybe you can contact me. These other devotees here.
And there could be more talk during the dinner as well. So those who have good things to talk about.
Okay. All right. So thank you very much for coming to 26 Second Avenue.